Today, we need to reorganize all of this mess. All of these bags, coats, shoes, organize them a lot better. We're going to do this with the help of my wife. So stick around, I'll show you how we do it. First thing we need to do is remove all the clutter. Get everything out of the way and remove all of the old hooks. Before we can begin painting, we fixed all holes with quick drying spackling and then sanded them flush. My lovely wife decided to do the painting herself. She trimmed around the edges and then used the roller on the rest of the walls. We are using a paint from Sherwin-Williams. We have found the best results with them so far. We're going to be using wood that I got from a pallet. This is going to hold all of our hooks and our pegs for our shoes. Next, let's cut all of our boards to length. I'm going to have 4 boards that are going to be the same length, and then 2 boards that will be slightly shorter than the others. Next, we're going to cut all of our dowel rods. These dowels are going to hold our shoes on 2 of the boards that we cut previous. They're going to be secured on an angle on the boards and get our shoes off of the floor. I'm using my power planer to flatten one of the sides of our boards so they will sit flush against our wall. Now for everyone's favorite thing to do in woodworking is sand. I am sanding all of our boards kind of unevenly to give it a rusted look. I just want to make sure that everything is smooth to the touch. I went between my spindle sander and my orbital palm sander. Next, we need to drill our holes for our pegs on our board for our shoes. Put a flag on our drill bit to mark how deep we want to go, and we're going to use my angle drill jig that I made up for another project. Mark the board where each hole is going to go, and go ahead and drill each one separately. Now I'm using this setup because I don't have a drill press. I'm sure somebody makes one commercially that works a lot easier than what I built here, but you gotta use what you have on hand. Now let's glue our pegs in place. I just place a little bit of wood glue into each of the holes. Then we'll place a peg into each of the holes firmly. Push it down as far as we can, then come along after with a hammer and tap them into place. Now let's begin our staining process. I'm using Minwax Wood Finish Stain Dark Walnut. I'll be using an old sock to apply the stain. One to apply the stain and another one to wipe it off. This is the way my dad did it, and this is the way that I do it. When applying the stain, apply it in the direction of the grain of the wood. Back and forth motions all the way down. Once you have let it sit your desired time, wipe it off with a clean rag. Keep in mind, the longer you keep it on, the darker it'll be. If need be, you can repeat this process as many times as you want till you get the desired color you want. Now we keep doing this until all the boards are stained, including the ones with the pegs in them. Once the stain is dried, I went back and I applied 2 coats of spray lacquer on all 6 of the boards. Next, let's line up all of our hooks. We'll do this for all 4 boards. We'll take a screw and mark where all the holes go so we can pre-drill them before securing them. Now just pre-drill all the holes that we marked on all 4 boards. Now we just secure all the screws in place. This part should be self-explanatory. We put the screws in the holes that we drilled before. Now some more pre-drilling. We're going to pre-drill these holes. These holes will be used for our mounting hardware later on. We're going to evenly space them out on all 6 boards. I decided to paint all my mounting hardware black because I didn't like the way the silver looked against the wood. So I secured everything to a board and spray painted it with black spray paint. So as you can see, the screws are too long for the board. I just grabbed my Dremel with a cutoff tool and cut off the ends of the screws. Now with the help of my wife, we leveled and she told me where each of the boards were going to go. I held the board in place while she took one of the screws and made marks where all the mounting holes are. Once the holes were marked, I pre-drilled all the holes in the drywall, put in an anchor, applied the board to the wall, and secured them with the screws that we painted before. Now everything's secured, all we have to do is put everything away now. There we go. We finished our rustic looking coat hook, shoe storage, and backpack area just in time for back to school. Now we have plenty of room for all of our jackets, our tennis shoes, and all the kids' backpacks. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check us out on Facebook. And once again, thanks for watching.